I'm Shakayla Thomas, a student athlete here at Florida State University. I will be sitting here talking to you about gender issues and disasters. Why do we care about gender and disaster? Gender may affect people in different day-to-day situations based on gender limitations. Example being physical beings. Not everybody knows that we look to the male counterpart to help us with certain situations. So if you're a female, you might not have the same physical being as a male. The gender roles become a major impact when women are taking care of children throughout the whole disaster. During disaster, emergency responders' viewpoints become more complex because not only are they focused on the emergency portion of the disaster, but now have to focus on other problems such as making sure people aren't overlooked throughout the disaster because of their gender. Meaning, if you're a female, you may have more problems than an average other person. So therefore, we have to make sure that you're not overlooked based off who you are and what gender you are. During disasters, women are more prone to sexual assault. Sanitation products must be on hand in shelters. Women who could possibly be emergency leaders are really respected by other people during disasters. Meaning, during a disaster or more prone to sexual assault, you have many people coming from place to place, and everything's just chaotic. You're more prone to it. You're just open and you're out there late nights trying to find food and all this other stuff. Everything just happens. Sanitation products should be on hand in shelters simply because you're no longer in your home to have all the sanitation products that you need. So if you have them in the shelter, that becomes a major impact. Motherhood becomes an important factor because women are the main ones to take care of the children during disasters. Like I said before, women are taking on their gender roles, which means they are the ones who have to take care of the children. So if you're pregnant, then your motherhood becomes your main force, and you're just thinking about your children. Pregnant women, pregnant women have even more complications to consider. Cause stress, like what happens if somebody goes into labor? What do you do then at this point? Because everything is in disaster mode. How will your baby be born? How will you get to the hospital? Like these are certain things that we have to take into consideration. In America, the acceptance of transgender has become a popular conversation topic that must be considered during disasters. You have to share bathrooms and shelters is a concern. If you're transgender, you have not knowing which bathroom you're supposed to use, and people feeling like they're in danger because you're using the wrong bathroom. Um, they're more prone to violence. If people just are not are really thinking about transgender people, they're more violent to them because now those people are out of a home, so they're just have all this anger built up, and they're willing to take it out on any and everybody. So transgender might be the number one people they're looking for. They may not have access to their necessary medicine, um, sleeping arrangements within the shelters, and judgment during disasters. During a disaster, religious cultures need to be respected. In the U.S., we have different cultures, so we have to be sensitive towards various beliefs. For example, some women of the Muslim faith wear a hijab and needs to be respected dealing with gender. I feel like people don't really take into consideration how culture becomes a major impact on certain people because they don't do certain things that we're used to, and we don't really look at that the way that we're supposed to. And that brings me to my conclusion of my presentation. I really hope you enjoyed it. Just some things to consider. That gender is it could possibly be a major thing into disaster. We just have to continue to take things into accountability and consideration and just think of others first.